Network. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live, the show that started it all. On TNL tonight, we welcome another first-time guest, and we're celebrating something truly special. 3 International Santa Claus Hall of Fame inductees gathered on one show once again. He began portraying Santa at age 14 and has continued for almost half a century. He began acting in high school, played football at Princeton University, and his mother made his very first Santa suit from an extra large pajama pattern. Don't go anywhere, for there is so much more to his story right here on Tuesday Night Live. This segment of tonight's program is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new and unique and entertaining 4-day educational experience.
You're watching Tuesday Night Live.
Word R3 to my crazy co-host, and say hello to our wonderful producer Angela Mack and Spangle the Clown.
Yeah, give me just a second here. I'm trying to find a candy bar because I'll tell you what, the way you guys did that introduction, it made me hungry for a Three Musketeer bar.
There you go. Yeah, say hello to Scott Seriton and Mr. Rob Wood sitting in with us this week.
And why are you not all in matching hats?
Good question.
I sent them.
Yeah, we did have matching hats.
Where were they?
Uh-huh.
You put them in the car?
They're somewhere between here and Springfield.
Well, I guess so.
Uh-oh.
Each mile marker.
Nobody said
Check
that.
each mile marker. Check
Hello,
each mile marker.
Angela.
Hi. I feel so left out tonight. My
No,
goodness.
no.
Well, you should have joined in the weenie fight.
I know what was going down in there with them hot dogs. I know how Rob gets down.
Me?
Absolutely. All right, don't forget to go over to Santa Central and check out the Santa Central Cherry Hill programs. Yeah, look here. Facebook page. Join in the fun over there. If you're not a member over there, go over there and join. And Spangle?
Yes.
Are you sleeping? Wake up.
Yes. I'm asleep. What would you like to know?
Well, I just wonder if we experience this on the bigger screen, how is it going to look this week with all of us here together?
It's not a pretty sight.
Well, you can always go over to Tuesday Night Live Show 1225 and check us out on YouTube.
I'm just going to tell you what, guys. Try to watch it on your phone this week or this coming week. Yeah. You don't want them 3 on the big screen.
Well, you'll be watching us a lot more this week. We're here in Ohio, actually, and we're getting ready to visit with a lot of the wondrous women of Christmas Society.
Now, actually, we're not in Ohio.
No, we're in Kentucky, aren't we?
We're in Kentucky right now. We're in Erlanger, Kentucky. We're on the east side of the airport. The Boone County Old Courthouse is on the west side of the airport, and that's where the event will be, and that's actually in Burlington. The airport divides Erlanger and Burlington. But we're here for Rachel King and Liz Rouge for the weekend. Gonna be fun. Gonna have to be in this room with these guys for 6 days. My wife then went and locked herself in the room behind us back here. She said,
Martin's got his Nintendo out.
And so,
Yeah, I actually lived in 2 different Burlingtons.
yeah, which ones?
I lived in Burlington, Wisconsin,
Uh-huh.
and I lived in Burlington, North Carolina.
You
Like,
probably are from Burlington Outlet Mall.
Yeah, and do you not know that Burlington, Wisconsin is Chocolate City, USA?
I once shopped at a Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's where he's from.
Burlington, Wisconsin is in Chocolate City is known as Chocolate City, USA.
Well, I would have thought Uranus was.
Yeah, we don't want to go on that one either.
Well,
Yeah,
we passed-
I drove through there last night.
yeah.
A lot of people thought Hershey's was Chocolate City, USA, but Hershey's is known as Chocolate Town, USA.
Ah, there you go.
Burlington is Chocolate City, USA. And I worked for a company. We did LDV. We made Snap-on trucks, and we also made the Suburbans for the Secret Service and bomb vehicles for the big command centers, the police command centers, and stuff like that. We did all that stuff.
So let me ask you, Smago, did you know that there's more than one Uranus chocolate factory?
Yeah, there's one in Indiana and one in.
That's correct. We went past one on our travels, and I said, "Looky there, there's another one."
We went through Santa Claus, Indiana on the way here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually know the guy that owns them, and also the guy that financed them. He's from Oklahoma, but he,
He's talking about me again.
it wasn't you.
That's cool stuff. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's say the first half of TNL Show Trivia is brought to you by School of Santa's 2026, hosted by Spangle. That's right, Spangle the Clown.
Okay, let me tell you one thing, okay? Because you ruined my appetite, okay? Because I was hungry for a Hershey's chocolate bar, and then when you started chocolate from Uranus, it killed it.
I hear you. Anyway, where fun and education meets, roll that beautiful bean footage.
3 weeks.
Screen there, tell everyone what the rules are and how many times you can play. And if your name gets put on the wheel and it's AJ, it gets greased up real good.
Okay, now, this is TNL. Do we really have rules? But okay, the rules are on the trivia. You can win as many times as you want. So just keep answering them questions. And like you said, when we spin the wheel, we put a little extra grease on AJ's name. So a few of them happen to go flying off. AJ, but we notice them when they fly. So, we're thinking about you, buddy. Anyways, as of 2026, how many members have been inducted into the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame? More than 130? More than 140? More than 200? Less than 100? Okay, so we're going to have to review this question in a minute and that's A, more than 130, B, more than 140, C, more than 200, D, less than 100. And Bob, you only got one answer, right?
But you need to put the letter first.
Right.
The letter
But-
and the number.
Yes.
Bob, the way this is written, you can actually have 3 correct answers there. Okay? So anyways, what year was the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame founded? A, 2001, B, 2010, C, 2014, D, 1999. Now, wasn't that Prince, 1999?
That's what I told Scott earlier. We're going to party like it's 1999.
That's
when we get
right.
to this question.
Okay.
Cheers.
But anyways, okay. So guys, get your answers in there. Remember, you got to have the answer and the letter.
And on the first one, there is actually only one correct answer. If you look at the answer
There,
there,
there is, but I mean, it could be,
well, yeah, I mean, in the future it will be.
Right, right. Hey, anyways, let's play LLC's Santa Company.
All right, let's do it.
Since 1948, one suit defined Santa. Designed by Charles W. Howard and worn by the world-famous Santa Claus School. Worn for presidents, movies, parades, and the most magical moments in families' lives. This is not a costume, but finely tailored, hand-sewn clothing made in the USA. With expert cleaning, restoration, and storage services available, Santa & Company LLC makes Santa magical.
All right, fantastic.
We're going to throw this on out. We're going to throw this on out there too about School of Santas. We had Joe Barney there. Joe Barney had to go in for the hospital. He had a open heart surgery. We do have Mr. Phil Wentz and Mr. Ken DeBellius filling in. We had to get two to replace Joe Barney. Sometimes it happens like that because Joe Barney's bigger than life, but both of these guys are bigger than life also. So it's going to be a good school this year. So keep our prayers for Joe Barney.
Definitely will, and absolutely, everyone pray for Joe for a quick recovery.
And he is doing well right now too.
Yeah. All right, are we ready?
We're ready. So anyways, tonight on Tuesday Night Live, we're thrilled to bring you one of our guests whom will be attending the School of Santas next month again. Yes, returning once again as a vendor of his high-end custom-made suits for Santas and Mrs. Clauses. He has entertained thousands of children and adults, appearing in TV commercials, performed for the Carolina Panthers, and brought Christmas magic to countless homes, stores, and corporate events.
Well, I know he's not talking about me, Rob.
Well, they said there's like a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, and I guess it's not me and you.
No. SOL, huh?
No, SOS.
Well,
That's coming later.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right.
his impact goes far beyond a chair. He is the founder of Pro Santa School, a highly respected training program anchored in Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as the Charlotte Area Christmas Performers Network. He also founded ProSantaShop.com, where his mission has always been clear: to serve Santas worldwide and elevate the professionalism of our entire community while marketing those high-end custom wares for Clauses.
Yes, and let's also add he had a school in Tennessee this year, and maybe we'll find out more if he's going to do that again. But please, welcome to the Tuesday Night Live show for the very first time. Come on, folks, and raise the reindeer barn roof and jump up and down with excitement. We honored to have with us tonight the Santa Claus Hall of Fame 2025, Santa Doug Eberhart.
Thanks so much.
Are you there?
You see me? I'm right here.
You're so far away.
Well, I wanted to give everybody an idea that I'm not in my garage. I'm actually in the shop here, and we've got everything kind of loaded down. I've got about 5 different big areas here in Charlotte for the Pro Santa shop. So I'm here, and I'm happy to answer any questions, tell you a little bit about what we got going on. How can I help you guys all out tonight?
All right, well, Doug, let's go. We're glad to have you here, by the way. Let's start off by saying that joining us on the program. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We always like for our audience to get to know a little bit about our new first-timers, as we call them.
Sure.
You've been a first-timer on the show. You started portraying Santa at age 14. What do you remember about that very first appearance, and what was the biggest thing you learned from that experience?
Well, how I got really into it at 14 was my dad said to me, he said, Doug, there's a woman in his area that was a big German lady, big head, big woman, and she used to put on the beard and be Santa Claus for his little community in the southern part of Canton, Ohio. And so he said, hey, you're a big kid. Why don't you try it? Why don't you try being Santa? And my mom said, well, I can make him a suit and basically use an extra large pajama pattern. She put on the fur. I have it around the corner in a shadow box here. My mom's since passed. But when I first went out and started doing it, I put an ad in the paper. All it said was have Santa visit your house for party. And it had the phone number, and it was a home landline in Ohio, in Massillon, Ohio. And so I started going around and going to people's homes. Of course, I wasn't doing any parades or anything like that. It was very small scale, but we probably did, I think that first year we did about 12 or 14 visits. And one thing happened to me on one of those visits that just set me on the way to continue being Santa Claus. And that was, I went to a trailer of this very young boy that was probably 6 years old, and it was in a bad section of town. I didn't know really what to expect, and went in there and talked to the kid, and the kid wanted a metal truck, not a Tonka truck, but a nice big truck. And so, and he specifically said metal. Well, I didn't know how much a metal truck would cost because I hadn't really bought that many gifts for kids prior to that. But I went ahead and went to a store and bought this truck, wrapped it up and came back, put it on the doorstep and rang the doorbell and left. And it had a note that said, "Love Santa." That's all it said. And that just, to me, knowing that boy opened that door and saw that truck, I don't know whatever happened to that child, but it just set off in me an experience that I wanted more of. And so that was kind of my beginning, if you will. And that happened the first year. And I did it all through high school and then into college. When I was home from Princeton, I would go and do it. And I continued doing it even after I moved down to Charlotte, got married, had kids. I still performed as Santa. Not as much when I had my own children, but I just continued it. And then about probably 2014 or 15, I said, I really want to, take it to the next level. And I knew I was going to be getting close to retirement. And around 55 years old, I said, I'm going to start a company making Santa suits. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I started doing. And then just led from there. And then 2 years later, we did our first school here in Charlotte. And it's just been wonderful. I mean, we use the kind of Pro Santa name, but, ProSanta.com is the website kind of umbrella, if you will, that has all the different links to all the different Santa events, things that I'm involved with. So that's how it started.
Well, now, will you be doing the other school again?
Yeah, so my dad is 87. And I spoke with Joe and a couple of the other principals with the Santa Summit. And they're going to continue it on, I think, but I'm not going to do it next year.
Okay, you're losing your sound somehow.
Oh, okay. Am I? I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So I have an elderly father in Ohio that's still alive. He's 87 and still out selling, believe it or not. He just loves to sell. And so I'm going to take some time, have to visit him a little bit more often. He's starting to slow down. So I didn't want to get committed to a bunch of other events. But I think they're planning on having it again in April. And then I think they're planning on doing something special maybe in September. But it all depends on how Roy and Joe and other people are feeling about the event. But we had a great time. We loved it. It was a lot of fun.
True there.
Yeah.
Okay. So after nearly 50 years in the red suit, what keeps the magic alive for you, and how did your early acting background shape your Santa persona and how you portray Santa?
Well, I think that's a great question. One of the things we're doing this year at the class in August, which is the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th, and Phil Wentz will be speaking for a couple hours on Friday night, the 14th, is that we're really spending a lot of time on believability, and basically improv and the authenticity portion of being Santa Claus. I think when you come to be Santa, no matter what your background, whether you're a truck driver, maybe you worked in a bakery, whatever the situation is, I think there are things you can learn from acting that can make it better. And I think the same is true of clowning. I think people who are clowns have a distinct, unique ability to relate to children in a way that if you're a butcher at the local grocery store, you may not really know how to do that. And so for me, I was involved with a lot of high school drama plays and things of that nature. And I think it's, being, when I was 14 up until 2 years ago, I was wearing a designer beard. I didn't have a real beard. And I couldn't have a real beard because I was in medical sales and they didn't want you to have a beard underneath the mask and all that. So the way the whole thing acting worked out for me was I just feel there's certain thing about cadence, about stage presence that you have to kind of pull together, and we kind of try to teach that at the March class, the Practical Santa, which is March 12th, 13th, and 14th next year in Charlotte. And so I think acting certainly helps out. But I imagine a lot of you in the audience probably know when I mention this name. How many of you remember the Wild Wild West? Anybody remember that show? Okay, and you had Artemis Gordon. And the thing I loved about Artemis Gordon was the fact that he was able to put on different outfits and change his character. And I really got into that in terms of whether it be for Halloween or whatever. I just thought when I put on the question about when you put on the red suit, you put on your beard as a designer bearded Santa, your glasses, everything, you kind of get into character. And you try to carry that character out throughout the time you're interacting with the public. I think it's sometimes tough, especially when you have adults coming into you and asking you questions in between children to try to maintain that character of Santa. But I really try to work on that. I really, my own personal forte, as much as I like doing parades and things of that nature, my real forte is doing home visits. I love going into people's homes and making it just a magical experience. That's kind of what my focus is. So I think the improv, being able to think without a script, answer questions, those are all things that some people do a good job of. Some people are not as quick-witted as others. I think of comedians, someone like, let's say, Robin Williams. I don't think him or Jonathan Winters, you could get much better between improv, being able to speak quickly, and not necessarily speak quickly as much as you can think quickly and then get your message out to answer a question or to come back with a statement or whatever. So that's what I kind of like to do. But that's a great. I'm sorry?
Okay, Doug, has your perspective and your role in the community changed since getting the recognition by the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame?
I will tell you this. I was so appreciative of being nominated and then chosen, but just because of the other people in the group. If there's 100 and 154 people, whatever, in the International School or International Hall of Fame, what I like about that for me is I think for people that may not know you, it may introduce them to you in a way that you couldn't just do it by talking to people. So they get to see a little bit about you, to hear a little bit about your story, how what background you came from. But there's so many great, Santas in that group, and there's a lot of other Santas that are not in the group that are fantastic Santas. So I don't know. I think it's given me a little bit of street cred, if you will, in terms of the school itself. Um, my school was never really designed more than 60, 80 people, and I'm happy with that content because I really want to spend time with the people in the class as I teach and as I do different classes. I want to get to know the people, and of course, whether you have 300 or 400 people in a class or a school or 150, it's a big job. It's a big challenge, and I know Spangle, you do a phenomenal job, and with all the stuff that you bring in, I mean, it's a magical experience. So, congratulations on that.
Well, he doesn't want to mention about him being in the Santa Claus Hall of Fame and that his contract that I got for him coming to Branson, that, let's see, line 17A, any outings outside of the school, a limousine service must be provided.
Oh, gosh, did you get that?
That was in his contract. I don't know.
I'm glad. Just leave it out in front. I'll be happy to walk down to the front of that.
All right, we'll have it there for you. Okay, you other three don't say nothing.
So no, but that's a great question. I love fielding questions from everybody. So if there's anything you got, knock yourself out.
Well, and something you mentioned, Doug, real quick, was about how many people are in the hall and how many great performers there are out there. There are so many that are should be a shoe-in, that should be in the Hall of Fame. I know for you, the same way with me, you feel so humbled by it all, but you look at others who have done equally, amount of good things, and you just wonder, where will it end up? How many bucks will get in next year and the year after that? Because there's so many that are deserving.
Well, sorry, Spangle, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Bob, you need to put your hand around the guy to the right. Put your arm around the guy to the right.
This one?
Yeah. And say, brother, I hope you make it. and look at the guy on the other side and say, hey, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
There you go.
Well, for me, in terms of, I didn't realize this past year that there were more nominees this past year than there had been the last 15 years.
Ever, yeah.
And that was amazing to me. I had no idea, how many people ever even put a person's name out. But, I had my dad and all the neighbors send in about 55 different applications. So I'm sure that helped out a lot. So.
Yeah, it really blossomed this year. Phil said that there was just overwhelming amount of applications this last year. So
yeah, go ahead, Spangle.
Nope. You go ahead and answer that question because I'm going to.
No, I was just saying it's a great experience. I think I always go back to a person's view of what Santa was or is to them, in terms of how you view Santa as a child, how you saw Santa. Do you remember your view of Santa? Because everybody in our community has a different view. They all come from different backgrounds. I only remember going to visit Santa one time, ever, and that was my dad had taken me to some type of event that had a little Christmas party. And he goes, oh, yeah, that was Larry the insurance guy. It wasn't Larry Talbot, by the way. It was Larry the insurance guy that dressed up as Santa at the time. And he told me this, obviously, like 5 years ago. But the point is, I never went to the Santa as a mall Santa. I did when I got older. I saw the Santa sitting in the thing at the mall. But it wasn't a big thing when I was a child. Back, being born in '63, I'm 63 now. It really wasn't. It wasn't something we did, but the magic of Christmas was certainly there, and I think that's what really inspired me when I saw the different suits that are out there. And we've got some great suit manufacturers in the community, and I don't mean, I mean there's a lot. I consider there's probably 7 or 8 major competitors to what I do. And I'm just happy for them because I think it makes it good for the whole community.
Sure.
Some are a little bit, there goes my lights because I haven't moved around very much. I guess you can still see me, but I'm going to walk over here and do this real quick. There we go. So,
I thought, I thought he didn't pay his bill.
that's what I was going to say. The Duke Power, they're going to take the power up again. But anyway, we got some great companies out there. I mean, I think Angie's, Bill's, Sewing Seamstress, they're all good. Santa Claus Equipment Company, Chris, they all do a great job. And I just do my thing, and I hope that I meet people's needs and try to make them look special and better than some of the inexpensive suits that are out there. That's just what I love to do. I like people to make them look better and feel better.
So, what inspired you to create Pro Santa School back in 2020? And what are your upcoming events? You talked a little bit
Sure.
about events.
Yeah. So in 2020, I had gone to a couple other Santa schools, and I thought they were good, but I didn't think that they were teaching some of the things that I would teach if I was a teacher. And I said, you know what? I can do this. And I put together the curriculum, and I, felt like, I didn't really want at starting out more than 25 to 35 people, because we do a lot of stuff with workshops and breaking it down and practicing certain things where people feel comfortable. And I didn't really see that very often at some of the other schools that I had gone to. And so I just gave it a chance and tried it. And I really feel like that's been my calling all along. As much as I really enjoy making suits and having people work for me, I have like 9 seamstresses and tailors that help me do the suits. We can turn out suits in really a week or 2 weeks with that many people, which is nice. I know. I think Jimmy Sabo was on here. I saw him pop up. He just bought a suit for me this afternoon, and I think that for me, teaching people and really inspiring them to be a better Santa or try to be the best they can be, that's more important to me than even anything else, whether it be the CRM program, Pro Santa Solutions, which I love, or whether it be Pro Santa Shop, or just the school is where I feel my heart is. But I'm not looking to be 300 people, 500 people. I don't want to get involved with that much. I'd rather keep it small.
Right.
Sure.
Bob, you want to read it?
I'm sitting so far from the computer. Let me see if I can find it.
For Santa that does questions about, is the one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you started your Santa journey? So what is it now you know that you wish you would have known when you started?
Oh, wow. Well, the first thing I would say is,
I know the answer to that question.
go ahead.
Yeah, you know now where to get a nice suit, which you wish you would have known back then.
Well, I was going to make some comment similar to that, and that was, I know now there's companies that put zippers in their pants, and versus just elastic, so you can actually, use the restroom without having to disrobe and try to find enough hooks at Hardee's or Bojangles or Chick-fil-A to hang your stuff when you have to use the restroom. So yeah, that was. In all seriousness, though, I think the thing I wish I would have known then is that you've got to be your own Santa. You can't be a Santa trying to copy someone else or be someone else's personality, because there's only one Spangle. Okay, there's only one Bob, and I think that for me, I try to tell people, be yourself. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself. If I can help you along your journey and mentor in some way, I'm more than happy to. And I think that that's probably the one thing I wish somebody would have told me back then. Because a lot of times, I didn't even know the Santa community existed back when I was 20, 22, 24. I had no idea. course, we didn't have the internet then. And so, you know, just knowing that there was even other Santas that were interested. I mean, obviously you knew you weren't the only one in the world, but anyway, that's really what I'm thankful for, is being able to hone in to be yourself, be true to yourself. Don't worry about what the naysayers say, what other people say. Be the Santa you want to become.
All right, Doug. Santa Scott's got a question for you.
What
Sure.
are the biggest performance mistakes you see Santas making today, and how do you help them correct those mistakes with your training at Pro Santa School?
Well, I think the biggest mistake that a lot of Santas make is that when a child asks them a question, okay, that they don't take time to really think about the question and then respond to it in a nice, simple, relaxed fashion. A lot of times people feel like they have to give a quick answer, like it's a round table, boom, 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 and that's it. And I think that Santas some Santas, when they come to my school, and I'm sure it's with a lot of other schools, Bob's and Spangles, they're blown away about how much information is out there, and how can it be so much more difficult than just putting on a red suit. Oh, I'm fat, I'm old, let's put on a red suit and I'm a Santa. Well, it's a lot more involved than that as far as I'm concerned. And I think part of it, you have to have the heart that you want to be Santa, but more importantly, I think you have to have the patience to know that you're not going to be able to swallow everything in one weekend or 1 week. It's like taking little nibbles. You learn a little bit here, learn a little bit there. It's like doing, whether you go into a home visit and you have a bag and you might have 10 props in it. Well, you might only use 2 or 3 of them because it's based on the age of the kids and things. So we get into so many different areas. The way my schools are kind of marketed, Pro Santa school, if you go there, there's called the Practical Santa, which is in March. It's kind of like for people that have been Santa for 1 to 10 years, if you will. It's not concrete. I had a guy there who had been Santa for 40 years. He goes, I never knew how much I didn't know about being Santa until I came to the school. And so then the other class on the other extreme is really the Advanced Santa Studies class, the one we have in August. That class changes every year. Different topics. Last year we did Performers Powerhouse Weekend. We got people, about 6 or 7 of us, a couple Mrs. Clauses, to do their performance, if you will, as if they were coming into a home or a home visit. Well, in all the schools I've been to, I've never seen anybody come in and do their performance or their routine. There'd be people that talk about, here's what I do, here's this, but I mean actually get in the costume, if you will, your outfit, your suit, Mrs. Claus outfit, and come in and perform for a group of people. That to me is more valuable than any school or anything I can say or teach, because you get to see how other people do it. And we had African American Santas, we had Joe Barney, we had a bunch of different people here. And that was sold out. There was 85 people. We'll probably do the same thing next year in August, but we'll probably have 1 day of only Mrs. Claus things on Friday, and then do Performance Powerhouse Weekend Saturday and Sunday. So for me, that's what's important. I want to see the, XYZ Santa, how good they are. I want to see Santa Z over here, whoever. I want to see what they do, because I may be able to still learn from them, but I can say, oh my gosh, I can't carry a tune in a basket. So how does this person get up and sing those songs? We had an African American Santa. He was phenomenal. He's a local guy named Titus Hopper. Great guy. Anyway, my point is, I think that every school has something great to offer. One thing I tell the people that come to my school, go to every school you can go to. Go to Susan Mesco, Tim Conahan's, go to Bob's, go to Spangles, go up to Michigan, go wherever there's a school and try to gain something from it. If you gain 2 or 3 things from the money you spend, it makes it worthwhile. That's my attitude. And so I I'm never afraid to go to anybody's school. I don't care who's teaching it. I want to learn. And I was at a school recently in over the Virginia Beach area in February. Someone said, "Oh my gosh, a teacher of a school is coming to this school." I wanted to see what other people do, and so it's, if I have the time and it doesn't conflict with my schedule, I'm going to be in another school.
I think I was there.
Yeah, you were. I remember.
Hey, you talked about if you learn one little thing or two little things at this school, it's all worth it. But I used to go to clown conventions all the time, and I'd pay $400, $500, whatever, to go to the clown convention. If I came back with one new balloon design that I just really liked, it was all worth it to me.
Right, and I think that none of us, including myself, have all the answers. We don't, and I think that when we're open and we're vulnerable and we expose ourselves, I want to tell you, at the Powerhouse Performers Weekend, I talked to some highly respected Santas that gave me like the Dracula cross. Like, no, I don't want to do that in front of a group of my peers. Like, no, thank you. And my thing is, why? Why would you not? If you are well respected, come in and show us what you do. And that to me was kind of a shocker, because you want to come up with new things. Like the one we're doing this coming August, the 14th, 15th, 16th. I've got a little person coming in from Universal Studios. This is a guy, a picture I'm going to get up and show you this. This was us like 3 years ago at the class, okay? And there he is right there. And we have him coming back for people to get pictures with their head elf. And we have a whole workshop set up with a real workbench and paints. And he's going to be painting up nutcrackers and showing to Santa, and Santa's going to be inspecting them, so that you can be more authentic to the children by having some great pictures of your head elf with you at the North Pole, and showing kids what goes on at the North Pole. And anyway, I'm excited to have him back. He was great. He's got a great personality. And those pictures are free, by the way. They're included in the price. You don't pay extra for them. And there'll be 2 complete setups, 2 photography areas where we have 2 photographers, one with the workshop, and then one, you have an outdoor scene as well. And the people dressed up and with their outfits on can go to each one and get multiple pictures taken. And it doesn't cost them a thing. So,
Well,
Doug,
yeah.
I got one thing real quick, Spangle, before you move on. Doug, I have to agree with what you just said. I have starting my 9th season, and I've been to 16 or 17 schools in that time. And I cannot tell you how much I've learned from Bob. Not Spangle, but from Bob.
Well, go ahead, Spangle. What was your question?
I'm not here to teach anybody anything.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I think about the learning thing, no matter who you are, wherever your background is, we all are drawn to this quote profession, okay? And honestly, I think it's no joke. I treat it as a business, right? And and it's not to me whether you do 10 events a year or 5 events or 150. It doesn't matter. That doesn't define success in my eyes. Success is seeing the child's face and know that you made something special happen to that child or that home or that time. So I don't, I hear people, and we're all busy. I'm worn out by Christmas Eve or Christmas Day like everybody else is. I don't do Christmas Day events. I did one event, and that was because a woman called me up and said, "Santa Doug," she said, "my sister's husband got killed in a car accident in September, and I'm going to go up from Miami to visit them in North Carolina, and I would like you to be the Santa. Although we've never met, I've seen your pictures, whatever." I said, "Okay, I don't normally do it, but I'll do it. Here's what it is." I gave her a price. It was on Christmas morning. Well, I walk into this home, and these little kids are coming up to me thanking me for what I brought them. That freaked me out because I had never experienced that because I used to quit on Christmas Eve. So now I've got to explain, whatever. But I found 3 more, when I got to the North Pole, I found 3 more games that I forgot to give to the family so you guys can enjoy your time together. So I made a special trip back to the North Pole. I gave them the stuff, spent 35, 40 minutes. The woman hit me back 10 minutes out of the door, and my Venmo went off, and she like doubled what she paid me originally. And my point is, it wasn't about the money, but I normally would like to have my own time with my own family, and I normally don't perform or do anything on Christmas morning, but I did, and I made somebody's event very special, and that's all that matters to me.
A child's smile and laughter is worth more than anything can be paid, in my
Oh,
opinion.
Well,
oh,
and
for
it's
sure.
not about the number of events that you do or how many visits you do. It's the quality of those visits and events. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Well, and when he said that none of us know everything, well, I was almost going to argue with him and say, well, some of us do know everything, but then I remember Georgetta setting me straight, reminding me I don't. So,
Okay, so I see the question here. How do you feel about some of the negative things that we see online from other performers? Okay, in my opinion, I ignore it. I ignore it. You can't argue with stupid. And my feeling is there's plenty of people out there that have really a bad that they're a cancer, if you will, on the Santa community. And I'm not here to call anybody out. People have their opinion of me, good, bad, indifferent. I'm okay with whatever you want to think. I know who I am. That's all that matters. And I think that was a surprise for me as a person in 2015 or 14 or whatever, when I got kind of really involved. It was a surprise to me to see how prevalent it was. But there's a lot of people that feel they're insecure in their own person, who they are, and what they can do. I'm not insecure about anything. I feel completely at ease with who I am. I don't have all the answers. I'm vulnerable, and I will say things, open people up. And I think the people that come to my school, they appreciate the directness that I bring to the table. I'm not there to sugarcoat things, and I don't call people out. And like I said earlier, I think all the schools have something great to offer. If they can afford to go see them, then go see them.
all right. Bob, why don't you go ahead and go down to your next one?
Okay. This is going to come in from Rob Wood.
All right, Doug. So, what gap in the market led you to launch ProSanta.com in 2018? And let's talk about your new suit designs for Santas and Mrs. Clauses.
Okay, so the one thing, when I went to my first event with iBurbs, I think it was in Denver, okay, 2014, 15, somewhere around there. Anyway,
The Windy event.
yeah, and so I went to that event, and I really felt like, the suits were okay. There were some good vendors there, but I felt like I could do something better. Now, I want you to know, I have done multiple things in different careers that I had no business being in. Like, I used to sell outdoor lighting and irrigation system. I used to do garden designs and landscape designs as a business with no prior training, but just throwing myself into the business. And that's kind of what I did with ProSanta.com. Was I didn't have any background in fashion, but I learned, and we made mistakes. There's tons of mistakes. We're still making mistakes. So, but one question you asked about the design, I've got one here, and this is, and it's not the end all, but I'll show it to you. So this is basically the design, but all the fur is removable. But what's really cool is that you can take this portion off and have a cola suit, and then it goes right back on, okay? And what's nice about that is whether it's rabbit fur or black tip fur, gray fur, brown fur, it doesn't matter. The nice thing about the cola trad is that for the price of one suit, you get basically 2 different looks, because you have it as a cola, and we make it in the 35, 45, and 55-inch lengths. So you can have a robe, take it down, have the buttons down to here, and then that covers it all up. And it's all done with magnets and placement and strength. But that suit for the people that want removable fur. Now let me just say something real quick. When we talk about removable fur, these are individual hand snaps that are measured out specifically. They're not snap tape, okay? The other thing I wanted to mention is I never really wanted to get involved with removable fur for one reason. I was still mastering or trying to master putting on sewn on fur correctly the way we want to do it. And we also then, the concerns about pinking of the fur, I don't want the fur to get pink. Nobody wants the fur to get pink. But what I do is we take the velvets in 50-yard rolls and have them pre-dry clean before we even cut them. So that way when we do cut them and make the suit, put the fur on, there shouldn't be any issues with people dry cleaning them and get them done. In fact, I will tell you, in the last 8 years, we've only refurred 3 different suits because they took it to some dry cleaner that messed them up, okay? And I'm not saying you can't use harsh enough chemicals. There's a chemical called PERC, P-E-R-C, which is a little rougher on some of the velvets and fabrics than, say, the hydrocarbons by Siemens. So Siemens is a great company because they do this softer version. You don't get the pinking near as much. But those are some of the things that we try to do differently at Pro Santa Shop. And it takes time. Every year we're trying to add new things. What was your...
Right.
Oh, okay.
So what products or tools do you think every Claus should invest in for the season? And let's talk about your new buttons and belt designs and buckles and all that good stuff.
Sure. Okay, well, I think everybody, no matter who they are, should have a traditional suit, one with fur down the front, okay, like this. A traditional suit, everybody should have at least one, whether it be the bright red, dark red, cashmere, wool, velvet, doesn't matter. That you should have that because a lot of people in the public, that's what they think of. Now, for me, the 75 suits that I own, they're not all red and white traditional suits. Of the gigs I did last year, from November 1st to December 24th, okay, I only wore a traditional Santa suit 5 times out of 125 gigs, okay? So everything else was a continental coat or a robe or something that you could take off. It's hot in Charlotte. Average temperature Christmas Eve, 66, maybe 67 degrees. So I don't want to be worn and going into home, sitting there with a parka and enjoying my time together, whether it be 30 minutes or 45 minutes to an hour, whatever. I want to be comfortable. So I always take a coat that I can take off. So that's number one. As far as the designs on buttons, we've got some brooches that are new, the snowflake brooch. All this is at ProSantaShop.com. We're getting ready to launch about mid-July a new version of ProSantaShop.com that will be a lot more user-friendly with videos about each product along with their weights and all that stuff. A lot more in-depth, a lot more complicated. And then you'll be able to order and take measurements right on the website. You can do a Zoom call with me if you want to order a suit. In June and July, you're going to save 10% if they order something. We're going to have, I think, Jimmy's outfit that he just ordered today. We'll have that ready in 2.5 weeks. So by Spangle School, his outfit will be done. And we usually have, like I said, 6 or 7 people sewing at any given week. But as far as the buttons design, everything's on ProSantaShop.com. Try to do a couple new designs every year. I'm not trying to make challenge coins or whatever. I know what I do, and I think I do a pretty good job at it. And I'd like to add couple new designs, but I'm not looking to flood the market with here's 45 things. One question that you asked was when I got in at 2018. After going to Denver and finding out how much booths cost and rental fee was, I said, look, I don't want to go there and sell sock puppets and try to pay a $600 booth fee by selling a $15, $20 puppet. Okay, so I wanted to do something different, and you know, I just feel like my niche is where I'm at. I don't think I'm gonna blossom out and start carrying, 25, 40 different new items. But we'll see. I'm 63. God willing, if my health is good, I'd like to continue doing it for another 10 years or so. But we'll see. It's a lot of work.
You don't want to carry as many items as we do?
No. I will unequivocally. I'll say that to Spangly, you and other people like in your lane. I'm happy for you that you're there, but I don't want to carry that stuff in.
Right.
I like rolling my racks in and rolling my racks out. That's kind of.
There you go.
All right, Spangle, why don't you go ahead and catch your next one before our break?
All right. You founded the Charlotte Area Christmas Performers in 2019. What was your vision for that group?
Well, Stephen Price and I, he's a local Santa. We both decided that we want all the Santas in the area to work together, if it's possible, to know that there's a group that exists. So we just get together once a month. We have dinner, usually it's the last Monday of the month, and we have a Chinese buffet area, and they have a big room, and they let us sit back there and talk. And we have different topics that we go over, a lot like a lot of the other Santa groups, but we really help each other out. Like even when I can't do something, because we all know how busy the first Saturday in December is. Once that books up, well, I've got 4 or 5, 6 other Santas that I work with that are on my site with Pro Santa Solutions that I can, or Rent a Santa, I can then rent out to other people. So, and that's what I do. And I charge a simple $50 an hour fee for that. I get them $250 per hour. I get 50, they get 200, and that's how I work it. I'm very transparent. I don't try to hide all that. So that was the vision for the group.
All right, Doug, stick with us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 90 seconds with more with Doug Eberhart.
Hey, thanks so much.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Guest tonight, our featured guest is Doug Eberhart, Pro Santa, and we got a few more questions for you, Doug, and I'm going to let Santa Scott give you one here.
Sure.
What do you think the Claus community is doing well in 2026, and where do you see room for the growth?
Well, I think that one thing they're doing well, I think the number of opportunities to learn throughout the country is doing well. You know what I'm saying? I think there's more and more events. I think that's good. I think as far as what you're going to learn or where the growth is, it's so good to see, like, whether it be the Gatlinburg show or any of the shows, there's going to be changes. When you think about our community, the Santa community, there's usually a turnover about every 8 to 10 years there's a different group of people because a lot of them pass on, right? So I think the growth, in my opinion, is going to be less from. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna turn that light on. Sorry about that. It's going to be less from malls. I think the mall thing, the mall experience is going to change or have to change. I don't think there's going to be near the number of people going into malls and seeing Santa as there will be other opportunities. I think if you make yourself available, whether through your own Santa experience or whatever, it will be a great opportunity for growth. If you have the time. A lot of people, they're still working full-time jobs. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So it really depends. But I would say go to as many educational things you can go to, even some stuff from Mrs. Claus, because even as Santa, I've learned stuff from other Mrs. Clauses, and I think that makes a world of difference too, to support them as they support us.
Yeah. I just got a text, guys. I'm sorry. And it said, someone sent me a message, and it said, it looks like that box of crayons has got 3 red ones now. I don't know what it.
I would like to ask our audience to please reach out to you and purchase a suit, because we'd like to see your lights stay on and you not have to get up and turn them back on.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm just so blessed. We've done hundreds of suits for people since we started. And, like I said, we will do everything we can to work with someone to make it right. If there's a thing that's wrong here or there, it's all about making sure the customer's happy. Spangle does a great job of that. I know that, with my experience, if people like you, they're going to buy from you. If they don't like you, they're not going to buy from you. And that's basically been my motto throughout my sales career in medical sales. So I think relationships are important. I think variety of product. I think being fair, doing the best you can and working with people.
All right, Bob.
I think that applies, Doug, also with your portrayal as Santa. If people like you and like what you do as Santa, they're going to come get you back and use you over and over.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I had a person last year. Being a diabetic, I had a problem with my foot, and I had to basically cancel on a woman at the last minute. And I talked to her about it 2 days before the event. I said, look, I can get you another Santa to fill in for this one night. And she said, Doug, if I can't get you, I don't want to have it this year. We'll do it again next year. Okay, I'm okay with that. But my point is, thank God I had somebody else that could help out, number one. And then number two, it's a great compliment, I think, to me, if someone feels that way. But I hate to see the kids skip a year, because these kids, they grow up fast, They go from 3 to 10 like that. So, anyway.
Yeah, I think it only takes 2 years to go from 3 to 10.
Well, that's because you're from Arkansas, and that's.
Hey, Missouri, come on now.
It's all the same for us.
It's close enough to Arkansas, Doug.
Yeah, I've been down those roads. I know what it's like. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And I want to comment on what Carl White put up there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Three Stooges.
Yeah, hey, you were talking about buying one of them fancy suits there, Scott. I also want to tell our viewers that they want to buy one of them fancy hats. You look like that red crayon in the box, too. You just reach out to me or Bob, and we'll get you one.
Or if you're a wondrous woman of Christmas this weekend, we have some here as well.
That's right. And TNL mugs, and coffee mugs, and tumblers are here, as well as the Tuesday Night Live patches, the small patches, and the large back patch.
All right, Bob, go ahead and talk about memorable moments.
So Doug, the first question I have to ask, aside from selling me a Coca-Cola suit last year at School of Santas, what are some of your most memorable moments of being a Santa?
I don't believe he just said it that way.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've had really, I think the ones that stick in your mind are the ones, the experiences where things either have gone south for the family prior to the Christmas events. I mean, when things are rolling and you're having a great time and doing performances. But I will tell you, at my school, I go through a list of horror stories, and I list 1 through like 15 and share my bad experiences as Santa so that other people don't have to go through it. But one of the most memorable experiences I had was I was about 9 years ago, it was Christmas Eve morning, and I was watching the 5 o'clock in the morning news, and they said that there was a family's home that just got broken into the night before, and the thieves stole the gifts for these kids. You hear about these crazy, stupid people all the time. So anyway, I knew where the street was. I got up, I got dressed, I went over. I saw there's someone there trying to repair the door. I walk in, now remember, I don't have a beard. I'm just clean shaven. So I went in and I spoke to the woman who was the mother. I said, what did they take? I said, I saw the news thing. I'm a professional Santa. What did they take? And they said, remember those little 13-inch TVs that had the VHS square things at the bottom? Okay, they took that. They took a little, like a Nintendo game or whatever. Okay. I said, how many children do you have? She says, we have 5 kids and 2 of them are disabled. They're handicapped, special needs. I said, okay, it's no problem. I said, well, listen, I'm going to come back as Santa Claus tonight at 10 o'clock after I'm done with everything else I'm doing. Just don't let the media know. Don't let anybody else know that I'm coming. So I went out and bought a 55-inch TV, had it wrapped, bought a Nintendo Switch, had it wrapped, spent about $900 out of my pocket because I wanted to make sure that family didn't experience a bad Christmas. And this family, when I had the TV put outside the front door, and when I was inside and I said, boys and girls, I think I heard my elves. They just dropped off a gift on the front porch. Why don't you go out and see what it is? And they went out and saw it. And they opened up that door, and they came in and opened that paper off that thing. You would have thought I gave that family a Mercedes-Benz. They were so excited because their Christmas had been made. Now, I know we all do something wonderful. I'm sure every one of us has a story just like that. But for me, it's those type of memorable experiences that say, hey, this makes it worth it all the time. It's not about how expensive or how much money I spent to do this or that. You can't do it for everybody, but those moments where you're called to be Santa, I think it's good to step up and make it special for everybody.
Now, you could have got off easy, You could have, went in the house, did the visit, told Mom, hey, I got the TV, I got the video games all outside the door. We'll go get them in a minute. Open up that door and say, oh, my gosh, the thieves came back.
Yeah.
Got everything again.
Yeah. Well, I tell you that, but that was one of those experiences. It was a bad experience, a sad experience, but it was good to me, and it continually, being Santa continually makes your heart soft. No matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, what your background is, militarily or whatever, or football, whatever it is. I'm a big teddy bear, and that made it really special for me to be able to make it special for them. And like I said, I could care less about the money. I've been repaid thousands of dollars more, after that event.
Very good. All right, so when you think about your legacy as a performer, teacher, and Hall of Fame inductee, what do you hope people remember the most about you and your career, other than you want chocolate or mints on your pillow when you go on a cruise?
I just hope that people say that was a guy who was fair, that listened to what I needed, did the best he could, that he was fair. That's all. I'm not looking for accolades, or I'm not looking. I'm not. I want to be known as someone who listens and is fair, make sure their customer's happy. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I remember just a couple months ago, you was upset that you didn't have no mints or chocolates on your pillow.
Yeah, they got that rectified though. They started making those towels, making monkeys and elephants. They made it better. They put stuff hanging in their room. I kind of like that. That was nice.
All right.
The problem with a cruise ship as Santa is they never have a robe big enough to fit you at the spa. Okay, I'll let that go.
All right. Bob went blank there for a minute. So let's go to our viewers and see if they have any questions or comments.
Is SOS still booked solid?
SOS is booked solid, but we do have a waiting list. Sometimes things happen. We just had a couple of people had to get out, and I think we almost emptied our waiting list. I think we only got 1 or 2 left on there. Who's that from?
I already cleared it off. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Angela, do you know who that was from?
Put hot water on it.
Thank you, AJ.
Anyway, here's one for you, Spangle.
All right, I got some compliments on my soup last year and absolutely love it. And thanks, Doug.
You're welcome, AJ.
Okay.
And this one here, how can I get a Santa Central jersey? Well, you see that Scott's got one on here. There are several different ways, Ron. You can play along with TNL on, and we haven't done it the last 3 weeks. Let me kind of back up because Chrissy had to have emergency surgery, so we have failed the last 3 weeks to do the trivia replay, but we will pick that back up again. And if you're a winner there, you get your choice of the Cherry Hill hat or the jersey. You can also go over to the Cherry Hill, it's actually Santa Central powered by Cherry Hill Programs, Facebook page. And I believe there's a merch page on there. If it's not on there, it's going to be on the brand new website that they're fixing to launch. So look for that. And the other way is I will have those this weekend here in at the Ohio, Cincinnati, Burlington, wherever we are.
Kentucky. We're in Kentucky.
Because I am a Santa ambassador for the company. And if you sign up to work with Cherry Hill, you get your choice of a hat or a jersey. So there's multiple different ways, but if you're still confused, just holler at me in a private message and I'll explain it better after the show.
Thank you, Bob, for that commercial. Now back to that.
I hadn't been able to say very much tonight. I've been passing my questions off to these guys. What does Kane say here?
I'm
Okay.
trying to see who said that.
Yeah, so Kane, here's the situation there. I'm limited in terms of space. Well, in case, we move out some of those people, I could probably have a little more room, but no, I'm just kidding. I won't have a whole lot of off-the-rack stuff. I'll have some that are my suits that are 3X basically, and they're going to be available for people who want them. But let me just tell you, if you go to my website and you see a waistcoat, a vest, a shirt, a suit that you say, hey, is this available? Just take a picture with your phone, send it to me at doug@prosantashop.com, and I'll tell you whether I have it, and I'll give you a special price on it. Normally it's about 30% off the price that we have. And a lot of these outfits that I wear are only worn once or twice because I have so many of them. So just to let you know, I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. And getting back to the Mrs. Claus question someone asked earlier, if you got a Mrs. Claus outfit that you want done and it's not in our area of Mrs. Claus as far as pictures or whatever, just send us a picture of it. We make all kinds of stuff for people. That's what it is. It's custom made. So we'll do what we can do.
All right, at this time we're going to say thank you to some of the contributors that we have for the show. So we're going to run that. We'll be right back on the other side of this.
Don't go away. Ho, 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 ho.
Shop Thermo Apparel. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And for the coolest of cool Santas or Easter bunnies, remember Thermo Apparel.
Don't just be cool as an attitude. Keep cool, literally.
Thermo
Apparel.
Be cool. Ho, 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 ho.
And Caboose and Julia over at Thermo Apparel for contributing to the TNL network. Spangle, let's read the trivia and give out the answers.
All right. Anyways, as of 2026, how many members have been inducted into the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame?
All right, so your choices were?
A, more than 130, B, more than 140, C, more than 200, and D, less than 100.
And the answer there is more than 130. Counting Spangle, Doug, and myself, it's 133. Winner?
You can go on to the next one.
Uh-oh.
What year was the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame founded? That's the bonus question. A, 2001, B, 2010, C, 2014, D, gonna party like it's 1999.
And that would be B, 2010. We're celebrating that big milestone this year.
We got the same winner for both?
We do.
Do we need
All right,
to
and that would be?
Are we gonna grease up that name?
It is Kane Smith.
Hey, you got it. Fantastic. Good job, Kane.
I thought it was gonna be Mr. AJ.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking.
Kane was on his game tonight, y'all.
Yeah, and you know what? That was kind of a tough question, that first one. Unless you went over and added up from 2010 to 2025, you would not have known that answer unless you just guessed at it. But I think Kane probably had done the homework on it. So, fantastic. All right, just want to remind everyone again, go over to Santa Central Cherry Hill Programs page and look around and see if you can get yourself some merch over there. And we're going to close out the show on the other side of this.
Real quick, I just have to share something with Don. He said that Facebook keeps freezing up. Look at my computer. It won't do a darn thing over here. This is my computer I use for Facebook now, and it's
toast. The drivers are going in it. We'll have to try to figure out how we can get you another. Hey, maybe we can start a GoFundMe
yes.
thank you page.
That was my computer for streaming, and yesterday I switched it over to my other computer for streaming, and now that one is for.
So
it's no good for nothing.
Too, because you have to be able to see the comments coming in from YouTube and Facebook, and be able to type back to each one. So you're working. That's why you are looking in the camera sometimes, looking off to the side, because you're working off of two computers at one time.
I want to throw it. Okay.
Well, can I make a suggestion? You mind?
Go.
Yes, Uncle Scott.
Spangle has a place that he gave folks help for his travels to go get Georgetta. Maybe he would be willing to let people, if they'd like to make a donation to help replace your computer, collectively we could all get it. It could go to there and you could earmark that donation, Angie.
Angie.
Oh, man.
Hey,
So please reach out and help us, guys. Thank you.
I think we better play our next three commercials.
Yeah, I think so, but thank you.
Angie's Originals, custom Christmas attire since 2015. Your all-in-one wardrobe shop. Shop at angiesoriginals.com.
Oh, hi. I'm Santa's official photographer, a name given to me by the Christmas community, but you can call me Jessica. For 35 years, I've been a portrait photographer, specializing in children and family. But here lately, I've been focusing on creating artistic images of Santa, Mrs. Claus, and their Christmas elves. What starts off as a simple photograph is transformed into a digital masterpiece. This isn't just photography. It's an exchange where the performer steps fully into their role, immersed in a real-life theatrical set where together we bring that story to life. If you're ready to elevate your presence with images that truly stand out, visit holidayphotomagic.com.
Michael, what's your final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts are is I am wondering how we made it to season 6, episode 17, and this is the first time we had Doug on here.
I know. That's true. And you have mentioned to me at times, let's get Doug on it. And I said, we will, but we're booked up, for the next 6 weeks. So let's wait and see, Anyway, we finally, the point is we finally had him on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. It's good to see everybody.
Now, Doug, when this is all over, don't go nowhere. We're going to be in the green room at the end.
Okay.
All right, so we want to say thank you to Doug Eberhart very much. Pro Santa, you got so much going on. You're busy like the rest of us. There's those of us in the community that stay connected year-round. We have so many different projects going on. Sometimes it'll make your head, spin. Like, what was the woman on The Exorcist, Linda Blair?
Yeah, Linda Blair, yeah.
Oh, my God.
No pea soup. No pea soup. Scott,
No.
But anyway, we want to say thank you. Scott, you got anything final to say?
Doug, hey, it's been an honor to have you on here. Thanks for coming out, and we know that your time is very precious, and we appreciate you spending it with us tonight.
Rob, go.
Hey, Doug, thanks. It was fantastic, and thanks for letting me be a part of it. Y'all have a great night.
Angela?
Thank y'all for everything.
There you go. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Say
good
good
night,
night, Spangle.
Good night, Spangle.
All right, remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live each week, same Claus time, same Claus channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. Have a blessed week, everyone. Hey, come back to see us again. Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And watch all weekend because we're going to be doing pop-ins and other events for the weekend. So catch us all weekend long.
Give me a like.
Tuesday night, live, and TNL on the road. Right, Rob?
Absolutely.
Don't miss it.
All right. Are we done?
Play that music.
That's a wrap.